Wrestling Fanboy here, also known as Steph Dorsey on YouTube, but you ain't come here for that. And on this video here, me and my brother, Kanan, Wrestling with the Brothers, we finna get into WWE 2K25 and 24, cause we're gonna kinda compare, 24 to what we wanna see in 25. And we're just gonna discuss it, y'all. But let's get into it. Now, Kanan.
So what's up?
You were saying that come 25, some things gotta change. So what's on your mind?
Yeah, I like 24, but it's not doing it because it's too much going on.
Now you gotta elaborate.
I'm like, we want it. I'm like, I know we always wanted all the superstars, as many superstars that we can get and all that stuff, but at the same time as we getting all these superstars, these are not quality superstars. And then at the same time as that, you having to pay for all of it. I'm like, I know they trying to be like NBA 2K with all that, with all the cards and all that stuff. But everything you have to pay for. And then it looked generic. Like when you like the new WCW Wolfpack pack. So if you do pay for it and you do get them, it's not looking like it's part of the game. It looks like, you know how I'm big on everything being lined up with how the rest of it is. I'm like, you have the nice renders and all this stuff like that, and then as soon as you get one of them, it looks generic as hell.
Yeah.
And then you paying for, and then this is stuff that's coming out your pocket. You paying for it. And then I'm like, it's not like the old 2K where you can play it and you can unlock them on your own. Nah, you gotta pay for these.
Yeah, which is crazy.
And I'm like, and it looks stupid because you going, like, I be on my universe mode a lot, and I be going down my universe mode and got about 15 slots of MyFaction cards of the same people that you can't even win.
Or play with.
I'm like, come on now. This is stupid to me.
Yeah, that's what I hate. Mainly, I'm gonna say the Persona cards, because it's like, let's say you do put in all that time on MyFaction, which I have before. You can't play with some of them cool people, 99s, and they unique costume, and it's kind of stupid.
And then the only way you could play with it if somebody go and make it, or like what's the status of somebody like that go make it in the thing, but then that takes away one of your slots.
Yeah.
So you telling me that instead of adding on to whatever you got, I'm like, you could easily just have different attires to the people.
And they tried it. They tried it. It's not that good still, but they tried. You have 2 extra attires for this year.
Yeah, I'm like, just add the attire, but I feel like they should update the attires.
I really agree with you there. I don't know why they don't. You can have a devoted team that all they do is update and develop the game. And then you remember they used to get mad at what's the status? Shadow, what's the status? They got mad at him because he was doing, he was helping the community. Man,
they almost shut him down.
Which was wrong. But he made sure we had all the up-to-date stuff. But, so, as far as, I like 24. I do think it's a big improvement over the last game, and they to me, they're stepping in the right direction, but something has to change. If you're gonna try to be like 2K, it is some things that you need to do. And I like my rise, but just like what I'm gonna say about Showcase, it's time to, I ain't gonna say it's time to scrap it, but it's time to like rewrite it. If you're gonna do my rise, you need to make it actually be like you control your story, to where, let's say you get to choose if you go to NXT, Raw, or SmackDown. I mean, just more control for the person, for the player, as far as my rides go. Cool stories, but you might need to tap into that open world thing that y'all were doing back in the Raw versus SmackDown days, you know. As far as Showcase go, I would love for them to bring back the streak, but
bring back the what?
The streak, you know, with the Undertaker, where it was like his character adapted to how good you were playing.
Yeah.
You know, they made it to where like the Undertaker was gonna play on your level, but if you got better than him, he was gonna get better. He wasn't unbeatable, but he matched your play style and got better and better and harder to where you actually had to like play like you had to do good. But I feel like they should bring back the streak. But I know this year they probably gonna focus on John Cena. They might focus on The Fiend or Bray Wyatt. But
I thought this was the one that was focused on Bray Wyatt a lot more. To be honest.
I mean, I'm cool with it. I love Bray Wyatt, rest his soul. So I'm perfectly fine with that or John Cena. But that linear play style, how they was doing it, I don't like that. If you're gonna have it about The Fiend, just have iconic classic matches that he went through and let you play the match. No extra cutscene, no Corey Graves talking in the middle of the match. If you're gonna have him do that, put that in the video library by itself, where he just narrating great matches. Cause I like Corey Graves. I like that aspect about Showcase, but it took away from the match. And it made it too linear. Like throw him in the northeast corner. Like, come on, man. Nigga, that ain't no compass on WWE. What is y'all doing?
That made you really not have to know how to play the game as well.
True, but that's why they shun some of they audience. Like, everybody don't want to learn the deep down parts of wrestling games. They just want to pick it up and play it. That's one of the reasons why I think AEW did decent, even though the game was horrible. Hate that game.
Yeah, that game sucked.
Because the controls were stupid to me, but we're not going to get into that.
It was an arcade game. That's like when we used to have that like wrestling Sega game.
That wrestling Sega game was better than that.
But you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I
do. The wrestling Sega game where we used to with Hulk Hogan and all them on it.
Mm-hmm. Les Luger. I remember. Man, I wouldn't even compare the game to that. But so I got pulled up right here. It say everything we know about WWE next video game. 2K25. They said that we already discussed that it possibly might come out around WrestleMania season. Because it used to come out around October. But I like that they come out with it immediately around the time WrestleMania is. Like, that's when the WWE starts their new physical year anyway. Because it's like that's the biggest show. And then the most important show after that is Raw after WrestleMania. So that's like the restart. How do you feel about a potential crossover with TNA on WWE 2K?
I feel like that would be dope.
I think so
That
too.
would be dope.
That would eliminate, some of the superstars being on the game that's not actual superstars or wrestlers.
Cause it's a couple of folks on the game that I actually want. Who in TNA? I want to see Moose. I want to see
Man,
Moose. Joe Hendry, whatever. Ain't that his name?
Yep, Joe Hendry. Jordan Grace.
Yeah.
I think, it's a dude that I just started liking that was in TNA, but I think he left. His name is Speedball Bailey. I think he coming to the WWE. I hope he do, but he was unique. That's who Moose beat for the X Division title recently. I would love to see him on the game, but hopefully he come to NXT. Frankie Kazarian still over there. Nick Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler, same person. He's over there. So I think it could work. You got the Rascals, which it's not too much the Rascals no more because Wesley did what he did. But
I felt like that was stupid.
Don't get me started on that. I like the story, but don't get me started on that.
I feel like that was stupid as hell. Why put them back together for y'all to do that?
They just want to turn Wesley heel, and I mean that was the best. That was, in all honesty, that was the easiest way to get massive heat on him. Like, don't get me wrong. For anybody else, it would have worked the same way. But for me, as much as I love the Rascals, and I was so happy they was back together, for them to break them up like that, I was so pissed. I was hot. I was legitly mad, kinda. I'm like, God, dog. But I was thinking about that the other day. Wesley got a victory, and his I forgot his partner name. He got a victory, so it is what it is. Zach Wentz. They 1-1, so I think they just gonna leave it at that. But yeah, I think a TNA crossover could help the next WWE game. On here it says something about returning, debuting, and departing superstars and stuff. They've been signing a lot of people to legend deals like Victoria, Bubble.
I would like to see them on the game. Yep. I'm like, man, I want to see Edge needs to be back on the game.
It's not gonna happen, man. Until he leave. Chris Jericho could be back on the game, but he gotta leave too. But it says that people like Julia, Jacob Fatu, Ethan Page, they could be on the next game, which that's cool. As long as they don't put Pat McAfee friends on there.
I felt like that was the worst thing they could have done for the game this year.
You could put Pat McAfee on there because Pat McAfee didn't actually hop in the ring, did moonsaults, did swan tombs. Like, I got respect for Pat McAfee, but why would you put his friends on there too? Like, I know his show do a lot for WWE, and he do a lot, but don't nobody. I promise you, we could do a survey. Don't nobody play with them. Don't nobody play with them. None of them.
No, not at all.
None of them. And we already talked about this. The showcase mode more than likely will be about, Bray Wyatt. It's also said that they could do a Bloodline showcase. Perhaps with one focused on The Rock. I don't think they have to. But if you were gonna do a showcase, the three choices I say. You could do a Bloodline showcase, but I feel like you could hold that off. You could do that next year. You could do that the year after that. Um, and it'd be perfectly fine. But you got to do a Bray Wyatt showcase, and they might as well go ahead and do that now. And the next year they could do a John Cena showcase. Plus, then again, now that I think about it, you actually could do a Bray Wyatt and a John Cena showcase this year. Their story has intertwined many times. So, but kind of as far as the next WWE 2K25, what do you really feel like? Like, if you could change one thing, what would you change to make it better? Or more likable in your opinion?
For me, what would be better for me is more characters that you can actually play with and don't have to spend money to play with, and a more better, they what is it? It's not franchise mode. Universal mode. A better universal mode. Because it's always glitching. Something always happening. I'm like, you can never really just get stuff really done without it cutting off on you. You can't change nobody nothing without wasting spots. I don't like how the universe mode set. And then this year, it's like you can't even change. If you want to go and change Titanatron music or something like that, it's not gonna go because it's glitching. It'll go right back to the regular. I'm like, they have to do something to fix the glitches. I'd rather you have less people, put good people, than and fix the stuff, because you constantly putting all these people's the little fake dolls, wrestlers. I'm like, all this stuff. I'm like, all these different personas. Just put it on their attire and just call it a day. I feel like they wasted a lot of space in memory in the game.
I can see it. They really could focus on what they have in the game more than, other stuff. Like, when they do updates, they need to do more updates as far as building the game replayability. That don't mean adding Pat McAfee people, Pat McAfee and friends. I know I'm shitting on Pat McAfee pack, but it was horrible.
I feel like that was the worst pack we have ever had. I feel like this year's packs were the worst packs we have ever had.
I feel like they were just putting these packs out to keep people busy. I mean, I appreciate the effort, but like I was saying, with these packs, y'all could have focused more on giving us up-to-date arenas, giving people up-to-date attires. Let's see, up-to-date championships. Like, you could have a pack where that's what you do.
And instead of putting all the focus in MyFaction, they should have put the focus in My Rise. Have people able to unlock characters by My Rise or stuff like that, or fighting and earning points in My Rise. But MyFaction cards are not doing it. You just having people spend $99 and probably get one Persona card. I'm like, we're not doing this, man. I'm not finna spend all my money for that. I'm like, y'all need to make it better. And like I said, when I said the DLCs was not good, the DLCs only DLC to me that was really good was the one that you got Jade and Naya and all them in. But at the same time, they were back by the time that they should have been in the game from the start.
Yeah, true.
So I'm like, half the people that y'all put in these packs were already there. CM, okay, bringing CM Punk, okay, that would have been cool. Because CM Punk wasn't probably there before y'all, he got there right before y'all started. But everybody else that y'all put in this game was already there. Who can you tell me that wasn't there before that y'all already put in the game, and then y'all sell us a pack with Mr. Perfect in the WCW with DDP is the only new person that y'all put in there because everybody else was already in the game before. So y'all giving us packs with niggas who was in the game last year. If you want to be honest, because Lex Luger was in the game. Well, it might not have been last year, but it was the year before. Mr. Perfect was in the game. Might not have been last year, but the year before that. I'm like, what y'all giving us? Yeah. So the only really people that y'all done gave us that probably wasn't what was CM Punk and DDP.
Yeah, probably. Yep.
Truly, CM Punk and DDP was the only two people that we really got. What, and Pat McAfee, but he could have been in the game because he been there.
Yep, true. Honestly, what they could do, kind of, because I thought about it while you was talking, they could do a story expansion for My Rise, like you said, and you unlock stuff through that. That'd be new. That'd be neat.
My thing, or with the universe mode, what they could do now, or you could have like they do, like the universe mode has to where you could pick one player and play with them. But go back to where it used to be like story mode to where you could pick certain people and they each have different stories.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you have 5 or 6, or maybe you have 3 people for NXT you could play with, 3 people from SmackDown you could pick, or 3 people from Raw you could pick, and all of them have their different stories of they can go along and get to a point in like My Rise or something like that, or you could create your own player, but have something different.
I agree, because I still get fun out of 2K24, but it's definitely some things that they gotta work on.
This off subject, but I'm watching wrestling right now, and boy, where were these women back when they were doing the mud wrestling matches? Like that back in the day.
Definitely cutting this out. Definitely cutting this out. Yep.
Boy, you need to leave this part in. Boy,
man, I'm gonna buy 2K25. I mean, I'm a wrestling fan, so of course I'm gonna buy it. But we gonna see. Hopefully it improves on something, and it's not just tired and played out. They definitely gotta make a change. Definitely got to. I think they just wanted this one to be like the biggest roster ever. Now that you done did that, you got that out the way. It's time to move to something else. Upgrade universe mode. Upgrade that goddamn online server.
Boy, cause that done crashed so much. I tried to play a couple of people a couple of times and it kept crashing. And I just gave up. I said, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good."
They definitely got to work on that. That's a problem in itself. But that's all we got, y'all. Whew. That's all we got. 2K25. Hopefully you do better. Hopefully.